It has been 30 years now since former Republican Congressman Newt Gingrich took the gavel as Speaker of the House, ending 4 decades of Democratic control with his famous contract with America. Look at that young man. He has played a key role since then in and out of Congress in influencing the GOP over the past half-century. He's also been an important ally of President Trump since his first campaign back in 2015. Gingrich is the author of many books. His newest is Trump's Triumph, America's Greatest Comeback. And Newt Gingrich joins us now. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for being here. With you. So you see President Trump as one of the great change presidents of history, our 5th overall, but that really, he's not there yet. It's an opportunity.
That's right.
Part of what he has to do is get things done. He's got this big, beautiful bill now. He's also got a big, beautiful conflict, it would appear, with Elon Musk.
That's right.
What do you make of that?
Well, they're two totally different questions. I mean, first of all, when I've said this to the president, what they won was a ticket to the dance, and now they have to dance. And if they dance well enough, then in 26, the American people will give another ticket to a dance. And then if they do well enough, his successor will get a ticket in 28. But they should never think they've won.
Right.
This is a work in progress. They're two totally different things. Look, Elon Musk is a genius and has done amazing things. More than any single person has put America back into space. But he brought into politics, which was a totally different process, a totally different culture. And he was very unwilling to learn, partly because he is a genius and he thinks he knows it all anyway. And as a result, I think Trump, because he sees himself as such a powerful change agent, he thought, hey, if this works, I'll have the richest guy in the world and maybe one of the smartest guys in the world. It'll be terrific. Yeah. Didn't work. Well, Trump's had a lot of investments in his career that didn't quite work.
But you're talking about the dance. He's at the dance. He's got to dance with Congress. Congress can be a difficult dancing partner.
Yes.
What kind of grade would you give him at this point?
Well, first of all, I'd remind people that the constitutional process is working exactly as intended. It's a mess.
Slow, frustrating.
Well, the Founding Fathers wanted to avoid dictatorship by inventing a machine so hard that you can't force it to work. Yeah. You got to work with it. Trump, and it's really interesting to watch the difference in style, because the House, where I was Speaker, is 435 high school class presidents who all have to come together, talk to each other, but it's a numbers game. The Senate's very personalistic, and Trump is, I think, taking the right tone, be quieter, sit and talk to them, listen to them, try to figure out how to solve their concerns. He will get there, I think, ultimately, because he has the ability to be very creative. He actually listens very well. But it's going to be, they've got to get something out of the Senate capable of being in a conference to get something that will pass the House and then pass the Senate. And in the Senate, they actually have, they can lose 3 senators because the vice president can break a tie.
Okay.
In the House, they can lose about 2 or 3 people. In a much bigger body.
I see you're still a counter here. You mentioned the Constitution, the system itself. I'm curious about whether the system can be broken here. That's one of the questions. You talk about the president as not a Republican, but as the greatest anti-liberal of all time. Right. And he's taking the liberal out of government at the moment. Is there a risk that he moves in such a big and noisy way that he breaks something catastrophic?
Well, I think it's a little bit of a risk, but I think it was, because I'm a conservative, I thought there was a bigger risk that the continuing decay of the Obama-Biden system was going to do enormous damage to the country's future. So I thought that was a dramatically bigger risk than anything Trump will probably do.
I want to talk about heart for a second. I think there's an underappreciated and under-referenced interview that Donald Trump gave just before he was elected with the Wall Street Journal editorial board, where he talked about immigration, and he talked, and this is rare, about the need to have some heart in it.
Right.
Sometimes you look at what the administration's doing with renaming the Harvey Milk boat during Pride Month.
Yeah.
You've got teenagers, dreamers who are in this country. They came as children. They're in ICE custody. Where is the heart, some people might wonder? Where is the compassionate conservatism?
Well, look, I think part of the problem you have is you're trying to move a gigantic system. And some of the people are going to be clumsy. And you got to, and if you really want to change it, you have to do it very fast. Because if you do it slowly, the bureaucracy will gradually reorganize around you and you won't get anything done. Yeah. But if you do it fast, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes in the budget. You're going to make mistakes in policies. And some people are going to get hurt. I mean, it's inevitable. On the other hand, people were getting raped and killed by not changing the system. So there's a balance of where's the pain level.
Everything's a balance. Nothing is all good or all bad. Does heart, though, still matter in Republican politics?
Oh, absolutely. And it matters to Trump. I mean, you know, Cliss and I did a show on PBS called Journey to America, which is about people who came here legally, because we wanted to make the case that we're for legal immigration.
Yeah.
Well, Trump's had 2 wives who were legal immigrants.
So that makes him pro-immigration?
Well, his mother came from Scotland. It makes him aware that, and he has said publicly, I mean, he's talked at one point about if you get a degree, maybe we should give you a green card, because if we're going to educate you at a place like MIT or Georgia Tech, we'd like you to actually stay here.
Yeah.
So it's a nuanced, complicated thing. And part of it, I think, a real challenge that the president has, he's doing so many things on so many fronts simultaneously that it's hard to get through the clutter.
Well, you do that in this book, and I think people who are interested in knowing your perspective on it, you're one of the wisest people in politics, should read it. Newt, thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, excuse me.
Newt works.
Trump's Triumph is the book. It's on sale right now.